What is going on, apes? We are back at it again. Welcome back to the number one sports podcast in the world, where we're here to talk all just sports. You guys know me, big sports guy. Huge. I like to talk about basket hoops and footballings and the bat and the ball. We're all here for sports. Welcome back to Matt Kohrs. I'm the number one sports commenter in the world, and we're here to comment on sports. We're also, on this particular episode, going to talk a little bit about stocks, I suppose, because I don't think there's any sporting matches going on at this moment in time. But you know what is going on at this moment in time? AMC.
Whoa, brother.
Whoa, brother. Can you take a look at LCID and VIEW on Ortex? I'd like your opinion. Lucid Motors, 49 million shares alone, 99% utilization, 3.5 days D to cover. Plus news today, and they get 52-mile range. View is 25 million, 90%. I guess if you have that info, though, what's the short interest? Like, if this concept of going around and hunting for a squeeze play, like we've kind of well defined that. It has to be on the threshold list to really have some legs to it. LCID has a short interest of 6%. That's not a short squeeze play. I like Lucid, but I like it for reasons beyond the fact that it could squeeze. I don't think it's gonna squeeze. If it moves, it's because people like it. Like, it's not a highly shorted stock. And VIEW, that one's different. That one has a short interest of 35%. So potential. It trades on the NASDAQ. Is it on the threshold list? What am I looking up? NASDAQ threshold list. View does not make that list. So it might do well, but like you're fighting against the trend, I suppose, like of what's going on. Like, it might work out. I don't know much about View. I do know about Lucid. I do like Lucid. I think Lucid is a very reasonable EV bet. American luxury market EV. In terms of View, though, I don't really see anything too special about it. It just doesn't make my criteria. When we have things like BBIG, when we have things like ANY, I mean, there's a host of higher probability trades, I guess is the best way to put it. And just because it's higher probability, does that mean it's going to be the one that works out? Well, no, but the stock market is a mechanism, ideally, of continually engaging in optimized risk to reward bets, and in the long term being net profitable. So with it, I mean, like I said, I like LCID, but I wouldn't get too crazy focused on DTC, because as things start moving, the volume goes up. So DTC is underrepresenting how quickly the shorts could get out. So I like to know the DTC, but I don't like really make my trading decisions based on days to cover. And also utilization. So I see that you have the short interest in utilization, but you also need, or you have the shares on, what do you have? You also need the short interest. You need short interest, shares on loan, and utilization. You need all three to make sense out of the other ones. Matt, hope you're still on Shiba Inu. I just got to listen to Coinbase regular. It's going up like crazy. So I have a very small amount of Shiba Inu, and it was gifted to me from Voyager for like completing one of their, I don't know, questionnaires or something. So here's my Shiba experience. I didn't know I had it till one day I opened up my Voyager account. I was gifted $200 of it from Voyager for completing a questionnaire, and I am up 26%. So I've gained like $50. Sick. Hey, $250. Not a bad deal. Apparently I also have VGX that I'm down on. Algo. Man, some of these swings in crypto are just bonkers, folks. They are bonkers. Matt, if BBIG doesn't break 9 cleanly before the bell, I'm going to punch my driver's side window. Charge after charge rejected. Gosh darn it. I feel like it might not do it just because of it knows how emotionally accepted, like emotionally on tilt you are with the market. This is all. BBIG is not moving by a massive multi-million-dollar money supply. It's moving to piss off Craig Scott. The market, Craig, I don't know if you've heard this before, but the market is out to get you. It specifically knows what you want to do, and it will do the opposite. This is why everyone should just trade the opposite of Craig. No, man. I mean, BBIG is looking strong, and BBIG is having a good day. It's holding up. We know $9 is important. Just give it. Patience pays, folks. The title of this particular, live stream, Patience Will Pay. Why is my put down if the stock went down? Volatility could be drying up. Also, your theta is hurting you. Remember, options, I'm seeing a lot of this from people. My worry is that there's a lot of people who are now recently finding out about the market that are jumping into options trading way, way too early without understanding what it truly is. Options are priced on a multitude of things, with the three most important things being the price of the stock, the volatility of the stock, and the time until expiration. Even if it trends in your favor, as in the stock price, but if the volatility dries up, and of course, based on the linear nature of time, we are closer to your expiration, you can lose money. So when you're playing in options, you are betting not only on it trending in your favor, you're betting on it trending in your favor quickly and in a volatile manner. It's kind of like a triple bet there. Hey, Matt, people talk about proxy on BBIG. Can you explain this? Some say it's same as merger, and I was wondering if that can proxy make BBIG like what happened with SPRT. Thank you. In this case, I don't think so. I mean, I'd have to check with True Dreamin' on this one. I know he's been tweeting about it. I think BBIG is the one who's doing the absorbing, while GREE is the one that absorbed SPRT. I believe so. Let me just double check. BBIG. Yeah, I think they're the one who would be doing the acquiring, I believe. Let me double check. Reports, yeah. BBIG, who are they absorbing? The social media Lomotif, LOMOTIF. It's kind of like a social media thing, kind of like a TikTok slideshow PowerPoint thing. It's just another social media app that I don't know. I don't know if Lomotif is really getting the most traction with all the cool Gen Z kids. But I mean, that is the acquiring company. Like if you look at BBIG, it's Vinco Ventures. Like check this out. Oh wait, it says an industrial conglomerate. It's probably more aptly described as, my favorite, a financial conglomerate. BBIG is basically just like a money vessel that helps other companies go public. Like it is doing the absorbing. It's buying 80% of Lomotif, LOMOTIF. Lomotif. Hey Matt, we got everything handled and are now searchable. Twitter, Hollywood PC, thank you. Okay, shout out Hollywood. Do I think IRNT will come back? What's it doing? What come back? It's up 29%. It's up 28%. It's there. I don't know if this is a comeback. If your question is, could it keep going? Yeah, but you're saying come back when didn't it hit like an all-time high today? Yeah. What's its all-time high? 45.81, and it's trading at 41. Like you're like that's a little bit negative on it. I mean, it's there, man. It's a thing. You're living it. All right, what else do we have going on? So we have BBIG up. BBIG currently trading at 872. AMC trading at 48. Man, the fact that this is already pushing, so we know 48.50 is resistance. Shout out Paul. Hey, Paul. Hey, Paul. What a brother. Paul just became a space ape. Indoor claps for Paul. Good job, Paul. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. AMC looking good. Love it above 48. Did get rejected at 48.50. We called that level out before. These are like, there's nothing too special about the support and resistance we call out on AMC and GME. Yeah, there's a lot of people who like to feel special as if they have some, I don't know, superior skill set that gives them a insight into the matrix that is the stock market. No, you can get pretty far by just looking at and understanding basic levels of supply and demand. Be like, oh, it bounced here. Oh, it got rejected here. We've seen AMC get rejected multiple times at 48.50. So I threw up a yellow line. It's like, oh, I wonder if this will be an area of supply once again. And as of now, it's acted as that, but we're seeing a lot of strength in AMC. And we have about an hour and 50 minutes for this to keep rocking on the day. I wouldn't really be that surprised if this thing cruises, breaks above it, and gives us the old test of 49. Maybe if we get real lucky on the day, maybe in power hour, a nice test of 50. That would be absolutely awesome. Very, very exciting. All right. A lot of people seem to be interested in Shiba Inu. I'm personally not. There's not enough time in the day for me to learn about every single crypto project. And actually over just this break that we were taking midday, I was trying to learn more and more about Hex and what's going on there. I'm not going to lose my attention from things that like I think have more potential to just some like quick runner coin. It might be a good one, might be a bad one, but no matter what it is, like, okay, I'm going to miss the boat on it. Harmon becoming a space ape. Shout out Harmon. I appreciate you joining up. Nobody real is interested in Shiba. Yeah, I mean, honestly, what sets Shiba apart from Doge? Like, why do people think Shiba would be better than Doge? Isn't it the same concept of just kind of like trolling the crypto system, the crypto fan base, the crypto community? I don't think the draw of Shiba is enough to pull people away from Doge when you're kind of pitching like the same thing of like, oh, like we're kind of trolling the system, and then like they disguise it in more of a sense of like, oh, it's a digital currency though. It's like, okay, well, we have that that's more widely adopted by other people. I just don't. I think Shiba Inu is going to have a very tough time pulling away market share from Doge. Just got back on. Have you covered anything about GREE? GRE looks like it had a good morning and has been selling off. Yeah, it shot up this morning, selling off. GREE. So I this is another thing I found out kind of over break, was that this whole thing, like all the numbers and the confusion about the conversion, all that is all in the filings. Like that is all public, registered with the SEC. You can see the filings from SPRT of what stock becomes, of what options become, of how they're handling it. The one thing that does seem really weird, and this is me saying after reading through the filings, the downtime and the fact that the conversion was not instantaneous, I would not be happy. I would be on the phone with my broker chewing them out, because in my personal opinion, the handling of the SPRT switch to GREE, the delay is unacceptable. It truly, truly is. All the numbers that people are seeing are right. I mean, if you were in SPRT, the switch over to GRE, all the exact numbers of like it being like, I guess, transferred at a proportionate rate, all of that is spot on. It's in the filings. All of that was like publicly accessible information. What wasn't publicly acceptable is that apparently every single brokerage out there and their mother was going to fumble the entire situation and stop people from accessing their core positions on a highly volatile day. Insane. I, in a million years, never thought it would be like that screwed up of a situation, but I have seen weird conversion issues before, and that's exactly why when we were trading SPRT, I said, hey, this is the last day to trade SPRT. It's switching. I don't like the risk of it, and that's coming from a person who's identified as like a pretty risky trader. That's why I got out of it. If people ended up, for whatever reason, swinging SPRT puts, well, you made a killing. Obviously, you made a killing. But for anyone who's long on SPRT shares or GRE or SPRT calls, you got a raw deal. I mean, the transfer, like how was it that difficult of a thing? I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Do you still have a discount code for Voyager? I don't see it in any YouTube site. Thanks for all you do. You should. It's like literally in all of my videos, isn't it? Yeah, free crypto, $25 on Voyager. It's like, I think the third link in the description. The referral code is MATT21, 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 and that's how you get the bonus. But it is in the description, just so you know. Can you take a look at Dutch Bros, and what do you think about Dutch Bros so far? They started trading yesterday. Is it normal for new stock to be up? Yeah, usually the excitement gets people going for the first whatever day or two, and then generally it doesn't hold and it ends up selling off. It's looking strong. I mean, Bros is having a great day. It's up 27%. It opened at 32, shot all the way up to 40. Today it opened at 40, shot all the way up to 48. That's good, but that doesn't mean it lasts. I mean, I just don't know. I can't do technicals on it. I could tell you have support at 42 and you have support at 40 and you have resistance at 48. That's all I could do. If it breaks above it, it could keep going. But generally, there's a lot of excitement in IPOs, and then eventually the excitement dies off with the price, and then it ends up basing, and then at that point kind of starts trading like a quote unquote like normal company. Coin Bureau has a video on Shiba Inu. It's a whole ecosystem. It's own DEX layer 2 development, just more under the hood than Doge. Okay. Like if you're in it, like I'm not against it. I'm saying I don't get it. Maybe if I look into it, I'll understand it more. But I'm not going to go like out of my way and be like, everyone buy Shiba. Like that's not what I'm here for. If I don't know about it, I'm not going to pitch it to people, especially if I don't believe it. Do you know how crazy that would be? Do you know how bad that would be if all of a sudden I just started talking about things I didn't know about and telling everyone to like get into it? Like, holy shit, that would be a recipe for disaster. People want to force Shiba to be a thing because they probably missed the boat on Doge and want the same insane growth. I think so. If I had to bet right now, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe you're a crypto purist and you know so much more about crypto than I do, that there's a possibility that's true. But if I had to bet, I do not think that Shiba is going to be the one that makes it. I don't think that's a strong crypto opportunity right now. Out of all the crypto that I could buy at this moment in time, Shiba would not crack my top 10, 15, or 20 coins. It really, really wouldn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it should be numero uno, but I'm not going to do it. I mean, especially now that it's running. So what's this concept? Tell everyone to buy a crypto that seems like a ripoff of another crypto, and then like chase it because it's high, and like buy it when it's like running to a new high. Even if we did like it, I would still say, oh, like let's wait for it to calm down. Like the technicals are a bit too hot. Hey Moses, brokerages aren't to blame. They wait for physical delivery of new shares. GRE was delayed in sending. Most firms don't front shares. So this is GREE's fault, Avery? Is that what you're saying? That GREE didn't send or do the paperwork and send the shares to the brokerages? GRE started trading at 97 yesterday. By the time I could sell, it was at the 40s. I did sell my puts, but my trading plan was ruined by Webull. But it sounds like it's not the brokerage, Joe Miami. According to Avery here, it was on the side of GREE not doing what they needed to get the shares at all the appropriate brokerages and on the exchange. Got a tiny amount of SPRT just for the hell of it 2 days ago. 23 shares turned into one of GRE. No, that does not align with the formula, right? 23, that sounds like a inappropriate conversion because it should be point. For every 100, you should have 11. So that math seems to be off. Maybe it's right because of like the rounding. Like they're not going to give you, there's no partial shares of GREE. So they're going to round and credit the leftover cash appropriately. But that doesn't seem right. It sounds like you should have had more. I guess like 2 at least. But even that, like, okay, 1 or 2. But all the conversions, once again, if you were the SPRT, GREE conversion, all that stuff is public. Like just look at the SEC filings by GREE and all that is well documented. There's a lot of people posting the links of it on Twitter to see exactly how the shares convert and to see exactly how the options convert. I think all SPRT shorts, FTDs, they could locate the shares to transfer. They need to find the shares to give. Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't know exactly why GREE was, according to Avery, delayed in the sending of shares, but that just seems insane. It seems, I don't know, crazy. All right, so AMC coming up to that resistance of 48.50. We've known this one for a while. Oh, Bros was looking strong right there on an intraday, just so everyone knows. But we are back in this region. We are right at the top line, and this is resistance. We know that AMC takes a couple times to get above resistance. Would I have loved to see a break and a rip to 50, 52, 53? Yeah, of course. But also just for me now, watching AMC intimately over the past half year, I also understand that usually it takes a little bit to fully absorb the supply at these levels of resistance. Hello, good sir. I watch you daily and thank you for continuing the support of Ape Nation. Could you check TMC, the metals company? I'm going to play and wonder if it's so good. I'm not the biggest fan of TMC. It's just not like, I look at this chart and I just don't see what's redeeming about it. It's just kind of big swings up and down. Like this is very good for day traders. It seems a nice downward trend, upward trend, upward trend, downward trend, downward trend, upward trend, downward trend. It has a nice trend, but what I just don't, what do we base it on? Like I'm just missing it. This one seems like an incredibly difficult trade and it's just kind of like halfway in its region. I don't know. I don't see what's redeeming about this. I would not say that TMC is like a short squeeze play by any means. I could look up the numbers on it. TMC, the metals company. The short interest isn't even here. The utilization is 70%. So we have stocks with way more utilization. The cost to borrow is high, 69%. That's interesting. Shares on loan, 500,000. So I don't think it has a high short interest because the outstanding share count is 30 million. I don't know what the free float is. And apparently neither does. Wait, what in the world is going on with these numbers? It looks like the short interest, and like I said, I don't know the free float, but it looks like it's about 10 to 15% of the outstanding shares. So when you base that on the free float, it would just be higher. But I don't know. I don't want to mess with it. If you're in it, I hope you, I have nothing good or bad to say about it in terms of bullish or bearish. I don't see what the bet is. I don't see the trade. It is favoring the bulls. The premium is 57% in favor of the bulls, 43% in favor of the bears. So if that's something maybe that people are paying attention to, but like, I don't know. I don't know why TMC is like getting so much discussion and on so many people's minds. It's up 21%, but it opened up and all it's done since then is sell off. Like we're just slowly drifting down. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing it, but whatever you do, just be careful. Please, just whatever your risk is, whatever your reward is, stick to your trading plan on it. Reverse. I'm definitely not seeing a reverse head and shoulders on the 5-minute chart on, BBIG. Sorry, I was looking at GREE, which is currently selling off. BBIG, just kind of range bound, honestly. I see you're looking at the shoulder, the head, the shoulder. Yeah, if it starts to follow back up to that $9. Robert, message retracted. I like the mystery. I really do. All right, GME having a good day. GME up 2.8%, trading at 210. Struggling in that region resistance from 212 to 215. It did mess around a bit there today, but just didn't really get that follow through that we were expecting quite yet. Same thing. It just takes time. Like both of these are on lower volume. We need more follow through. Hey, it's all good. It is all good in the hood. And then AMC trading at 47.70. Having an interesting day. Also green. Lots of strength, though, all the way up until recently. Considerable strength up until 130-ish, right in here, right when it ran into a level of supply. Oh, hey, Mike, could you make a video going over entry points for high dividend term holds and blue chips to help maintain tendencies after squeeze? Yes. TMC has a free float of 15.5 million per Webull, 37 million outstanding. So that short, so even the short interest then is not that high. Roughly a short interest of, I guess, 20%. Is that why people are talking about it? But even then, like, aren't there just better plays? Like, aren't there plays that are lower float, higher short interest, higher utilization, and on the threshold list? I don't know. I guess it maybe if it bends back around and gets above 13, it can push. But this is, for the little bit of chart that exists, this is a tough trade. Like, I'm here to take layups. Like, I don't want to do some weird, complex, tough trade. I mean, it's difficult enough to make money on easy trades. No less like a chart that looks like that one. That's an ugly looking chart. What happened with SPRT? It was absorbed by GREE. A lot of people have been talking about this for quite a while. Like, that's like well publicized within the community that SPRT got absorbed by GREE, and it's trading under that ticker now. It's a portion of the company. I think roughly like 8 or 9%. Do you feel Gevo could be a decent long-term play? I don't know enough about it on Gevo. I believe that's in that, right? Gevo's in the EV sector. I think it is. I don't know enough about it to be like, oh, I think this is a good long-term winner or not. I don't. Gevo really never interested me. Same thing, a chart that's not really going anywhere. It had excitement, it sold off, and thus far it's never made a new relative high. It's just all these peaks are slightly lower. So I'm just not seeing the bull step in. All right, where are we at? IWM, how's this one doing today? IWM, this is kind of what we were talking about of how it was interesting. Remember this morning I was like, this doesn't make sense because the flow was in such favor of the bulls winning. It's actually getting stomped down a little bit now, but today we were pointing that out and I was calling that, like, watch it out on their morning stream of how I was like, I don't know. The sell-off kind of confused me because the options market was pricing in like a movement upward. And that's actually what we got. It bounced off of 220 all the way up to 223. More than I thought it would be, but the flow in the options market was very contradictory to the movement for the first hour and a half of the day. Right. So AMC looks to be bouncing off of this previous resistance, 47.50. We're at 47.76. Would love to see a recapture of 48, and then we're still basically watching the breakout of 48.50. Speaking of flow, what's the flow look like for the overall market? These things are pretty much equaled out, both IWM and the Russell 2000. Gevo is great long-term biofuel, sustainable jet fuel. Just partnered with Chevron. I've been swinging this one since 80 cents. So it sounds like you're up quite a bit, but like the trend of the daily chart over the past half year would be a little bit concerning to me. Like it's just not making a high, a new high. All of those peaks are a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. So I would want to see a new high, and then it becomes like an interesting play that the buyers are stepping in. Ortex and Info, ENVB, merger announced. ENVB. Short interest of 19.3%, shares on loan 14.48, utilization 92. It is a NASDAQ stock. Is it on the list? ENVB. It is not. It's not on the threshold list. Honestly, for the ones of like, I guess how we talk about this and what is or isn't going on, it's probably easier for everyone to start with the threshold list and move off of that. Like, for example, AEI, I know people have asked about that. That's good. ANY, APPH, ATCX, ATER, BBIG, DDI, some people, KPLT, I know people ask me about that one. WKEY, all of these are on the threshold list, which to me is kind of important in this, like the prerequisite. The one that people are asking about today, a lot of, I guess, well, GREE, we don't know. That one's a tough one because maybe eventually it will be on it as soon as we figure out this whole merger issue. I don't know who Atlas Trading is, Steven. TMC is an Atlas Trading play. I don't know. Anyone can run their channel how they want, but I don't know how people are pitching TMC when it just started trading. Like maybe it's a fundamental play. Maybe they're like, hey, we love these fundamentals so much, not this price. We think that the market cap of 3.6 billion is undervaluing what the company is. But TMC, it's either you know something about the fundamentals or you're a day trader taking advantage of these gnarly swings. I don't know. It seems a little bit iffy to me. Matt, I mentioned you 2 to 3 months ago. ILUS firefighting manufacturer with ambitious CEO up 300% this month. Only OTC stock I like. Shout out Craig, crushing it. Hey Matt, EGLX esports gaming still looks very weak. They keep making acquisitions and are launching new programs soon. Thanks. EGLX. This one's not traded at all. It's a $4 stock that doesn't even trade 500,000 shares. No, I wouldn't. No one's interested in it. Enthusiast game holding. Yeah, it's there's no interest in this stock. Is OPAD old news? No, a couple of people have asked me about it today. Oh, I wouldn't touch it though. I mean, that's chasing. It's trading at $18.50. It was just at like $9. I feel like some brokerages are still people money. The fact that they show the stock and move them go down crazy. I feel like some this brokerage are still people money due to the fact they showed the stock move and them go down crazy. I'm just going to agree with you. When you include Claybro making a video, I don't know. Thoughts on TNT for a long-term play? Let's check out TNT. TNT, peak fintech group, specialty telecommunications. I mean, the stock's been doing well too up to this, and it has obviously some support around $8. So in terms of risk reward, if you're okay with risking 8 and you maybe get this push up to 12 trading at 960, the risk reward is there. In terms of long term, I don't know anything about the company, so I can't comment on its long term. But in terms of the current technicals, we had a lot of bearish divergence. The stock went higher, the RSI went lower. It finally calmed down, and today we're seeing some buying step in. If you're okay with that risk of $8 for the potential of 12 in a breakout, I mean, it's kind of there. I mean, I'm not going to trade it because I don't know anything about it, but it does look interesting. All right, AMC is at 47.60. GME is at 210.27. Oh, you know what we forgot to do? Is double check. All right, net neutral. Not many days you see it being net neutral on AMC. Short interest of 18.76%. GME return to 27,000, pretty much net neutral. Short interest of 12.72%. All right, what else do we have going on? Oh, shout out Crystal Assassin. I appreciate that. All right, we are basically, hang on, IWM, 5 minutes right here. IWM, all right. Nice, nice, nice. IWM looking strong. SPY looking strong. GME coasting at 210. I really do like it above 208.50. And AMC giving back some of that pop, about $1 worth, from 48.50 down to 47.70. But looking good. Where can we find a list of all threshold securities on all exchanges? You'd have to find them individually. You have to look up like the New York Stock Exchange threshold list, the NASDAQ threshold list. You'd have to go through all those like major ones. Matt watches Shoe Nice. Who's Shoe Nice? Shoe Nice. Shoe Nice. Oh, this guy? I know Shoe Nice. He's the guy that like chugs a lot of alcohol, I think. I think he chugs a lot of alcohol. I've seen him before. Yeah, I've definitely seen him. I didn't know that was his name, but I've definitely seen his videos before. He's like an OG YouTuber, right? Like he's like one of the first big personalities of YouTube. Can you look at CEI? Very high trading volume lately. Yeah, I mean, CEI has been running like a madman, but like if you're not in it, what are you going to do? I mean, folks, this was just trading at 40 cents. You don't buy it at $1.80. That's insane. The chart is ugly. If you're not in this play, like I'm not going to touch it. You should do whatever you want. But to me, the risk is just not worth the reward. Even when I'm asking annoying questions, I really appreciate that you're here with us every day, educating all of us. Just wanted the day to thank you. Shout out, Tanner. I appreciate that. That's very kind. Ooh, I got a text. Yeah, I'm pretty popular. Automated text message from my dentist to make sure I'll be at the appointment. Please respond yes. Sweet. Yeah, pretty popular. Pretty popular. Ooh, what I do want to point out, Iceberg Research. We have increased our short exposure to AMC. Oh, hilarious. Hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Look how many quote tweets, like the likes, the retweets, they got so insanely ratioed, so absurdly ratioed. They said that at 11:42 this morning. Where was AMC at 11:42? So let's say they took it. So what? They try to get in. What a bad day to short. Like, what are they doing? These people are clowns. Look at this 359 quote tweets. This is ridiculous. Anything funny? So many quote tweets. So many quote tweets about how absurd this is. Like, do we even know if they're real? Like, are they even a real entity or a real thing? Because like, it feels like a big troll. It feels like a big troll. All right. I mean, come on. Iceberg Research. Ortex gives the number of shares on loan that is from data, whilst the short is estimated. How do they estimate it? Do you know the model? I mean, they have a predictive model, and it's, to my understanding, based on how accurately they could predict the share short from the exchange reported short interest. That's like their basis of their accuracy. But this is always looking behind. Like, it's basically a lagging indicator of 2 weeks, but this is how they know how accurate they're being or not, is because you could go back and look at the exchange reported short interest in whatever time frame, see certain times they're like, okay, they basically overestimated, underestimated, that type of a thing. But the exchange reported short interest is in the blue, and that's only reported every 2 weeks. And it's always lagging. Like, you don't even get it the day of. Like 2 weeks later, you get it for the 2 weeks before. And so that's like their basis. Do I know the math of how they are training their machine learning model to do it? No. Like, that's going to be obviously proprietary. They don't just like talk about that. But by and large, Ortex is the most accurate platform that the retail public has to it in terms of the short interest information, by and large. Is it 100% accurate? No. No one's ever argued that, and you would be silly to argue that because it doesn't have 100% accuracy. We know it doesn't. If you look into it, and I've discussed it numerous times, that it only covers 85% of all transactional volume, like the legal, legitimate stuff. So out of the legal, legitimate stuff, it's missing 15% of the picture. But then on top of that, it's missing 100% of the illegitimate picture because that stuff is never reported. So you have to understand the limitations of any software you're going to possibly use or any tools or resources you're going to use. But in reality, there's nothing out there that's going to be perfect. Man, a lot of people in chat pumping Sheeb today. That doesn't seem good. When I see a lot of people pumping the same thing, it tells me that it's probably pretty close to being done. Hey, not financial advice, but do you think BBIG has enough strength to get over 1050? What is BBIG currently at? I mean, 1050. You need to worry about $9 first, Corey. Take it a level at a time. Like, we need to get above 9. NAKD, Alan, is not a good play. NAKD, this isn't one of these things that it was being abusively shorted. NAKD deserved to be shorted. It was a failing business. And they basically got as lucky as you possibly could by being caught up in the hecticness of all these sympathy short plays, basically in January and February. Everyone just bought stocks that were highly shorted. NAKD was like on its last leg of a company. They had to close down like all of their brick and mortar stores. It was fundamentally, the company was in a huge mess, and it basically got a second chance at life by the fact that everyone just started buying stocks that were highly shorted. And to me, I don't know. I'm not a fan of NAKD. Not a fan. That doesn't mean you can't make money in it, but I'm not going to throw my own money at it. I had some SPRT that I forgot I had. When it merged, I was given 0.69 shares. How do I sell if Webull doesn't let anyone sell that amount? You'll be able to sell that. It's not like you're stuck with it. I think right now, can anyone correct me if you're on Webull? Can you like actively trade the converted amount of SPRT and GREE? I know new people, like if you didn't previously have a position, you can freely trade GREE. I'm talking about the stuff that was actually transferred. Is AMC being attacked? AMC is green on the day. So someone said, no, you can't. So I think you're going to have to wait for all these shares to still get converted. Convert the sell unit to dollars, not shares. Sell all shares. They were supposed to convert it to cash. This is such like a mess up. I don't know what's going on with GREE, but it looks like the conversion is not completed yet, I suppose. Maybe. What do you think IRNT is going to do for the rest of the week, as in tomorrow? IRNT, whoa, showing some strength. Whoa. IRNT, it looks like it's about to move. Bullish, sure. I'm not going to trade it. I don't think it's a high probability trade, but it does look bullish. I'll admit that. It does look bullish. Sold my 14 million sheep. Thanks for the pump and dumpers. LOL. Man. I mean, if you're making money, there is a big difference. And I don't think people really have this discussion or have it laid out in my mind, or their minds, or publicly talk about it. There's a big difference between something that you're like, hey, this is a worthwhile investment, a worthwhile swing trade. I see potential over time frame XYZ. There's a huge difference between that and be like, hey, this is a good like technical trade on a daily breakout on volume. I'm going to get in, get out, make some money. You can do that. And just don't convert one to the other. Don't all of a sudden turn a quick day trade that goes wrong and you're like, never mind, I'm just gonna be an investor in it now. That is when you know you're getting in trouble. If you're in something just because you think it's gonna move in a very short time frame, however you want to define that, have at it. That's what day trading is. That's what short-term swing trading is. And they're fine. Like, hey, if you're making money, you're making money. You can make money on things that maybe in the long term you think the opposite about. Like, I am long-term bullish on Tesla, but I've made money on Tesla by it dropping 900 to 500. Folks, that is okay. Like, you could do that, and maybe if it's better in your mind to have like the different accounts for it, of like, okay, this is my longer term account, this is my shorter term account, like, that's okay. You can be long-term bullish on something and still make money, maybe extra money in the short term because you think there's going to be an extra pop. You're like, okay, I'll back some extra money. Or maybe you think there'll be some short-term weakness and you want to make money on that. Or maybe you don't even care about it long-term at all and you just want to do a quick short-term trade. That is all fine. The name of the game is for you to make as much money as you can, taking on a reasonable amount of risk. And I say reasonable, and that's obviously in the eye of the beholder. And that's it. That's what the market is. I mean, there are people, I'm judging. I guess I'm judging this through my own opinion and what I think this community is like all about and everything. But like, for example, I think AMC, let me just use AMC as an example because it's the first stock I'm looking at. There is a world in which you can make money on AMC in both sides. Maybe you have a shorter term trade. You're like, maybe, and this is not my reasoning. I'm just trying to use this as an example. Maybe your thought is, I'm going to buy calls for this month because I think AMC will squeeze in the month. And then I'm going to buy puts for 3 months out because I think it's going to be done by that. That's all. Like, I'm not saying that's accurate. In fact, I'm not even saying that's a good plan. In that example I gave, in fact, is not a good plan. But just in general, there are many, many, many ways to make money in the market. And just because you're making money one way, okay, cool. And I might make money one way, you might make money a completely different way. It is all acceptable. Like, the name of the game is to be as profitable as you can. And I think it's important to understand the difference in timeframes. So on BBIG, maybe you think in the short term it's going to be weak, but maybe a month down the line, it's going to be very, very strong. Like, it's okay to play the different plays based on different timeframes. So like, really the reason I'm going off on this is because of the Shiba thing. Am I going to be a long-term investor in Shiba? Well, I'm not going to touch it at all besides the stuff that was gifted to me. But like, if you're in it, you don't have to believe in it. But if you're like, oh no, I think this is going to move today and tomorrow and I can make some quick money, have at it. Seriously. Like, if that is your plan and you're monitoring your risk and your reward, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I'm not that supportive of Shiba because I have a lack of knowledge on it. So I probably shouldn't even be speaking about its fundamentals, honestly. But you can actively trade things that you might not know anything about, or maybe you don't believe in it. But in the short term, it's just so important to understand the time frames. Like, for example, with AMC, do you know how many people, they're like, I love AMC, but in the short term, I don't see it moving. So I'm going to sell some covered calls to make extra money so I could buy more AMC. I mean, some people are going to yell at them for that. And then other people are going to say, oh, wow, they took advantage of it. Selling covered calls does not hurt a stock, and they ended up making more money. So now they own more AMC and thus helped AMC. Like, it was a net positive impact on AMC because they understood the market and volatility and timeframes. The same thing could be said about GME, Apple, Tesla. People can play this in such a multitude of ways that it would blow your socks off. It would blow your socks off. Someone said, I think we're getting shorted right now. Maybe. They could be. I think it's odd that the return shares and the borrowed shares are the exact same. But they could be dumping all or a portion or whatever amount of shares onto AMC right now. Very, very possible. But hey, green on the day. AMC's up. It's up 0.6%. GME's green on the day. Both of these started selling at roughly the same time, roughly 1:30, which I think is odd. But is it really that odd when they've been kind of moving in concert to get together today? Made 4-day trades in the past 3 days, IRNT, ATR, LPTX, and each made 10% profit, all of which jumping into AMC the next dip. That's a great trading plan. You had a plan, you stuck to it, and you were fortunately net profitable. Seriously, congratulations. I'm a garbage truck driver, and when the kids come up and say they want to be me, I tell them to follow Matt Kohrs. He knows better. Also, my manager is watching, so a heads up, I'm calling in tomorrow. Thanks. What's going on? Matt, can you pull up AMC chart from mid-May climb to the dip, late June squeeze? Mid-May climb to dip to late May, early June squeeze. Mid-May, it wasn't really doing much in mid-May. It was kind of boring. Like, it was messing around at 1450. So right here is the mid-May action. Mid-May. Yeah. So mid-May. And this was a different, because this was, man, I wish it. All right, here. We had the cup, and then it made a handle and an explosion. This mid-May action, it was a different technical setup. Can I draw? Where do we have this? Where's the drawing tool? Is it here? Is it here? I thought it was in this. Oh, here we go. This mid-May explosion was a perfect cup, handle, and then obviously it exploded upward. So a little bit of a different technical setup that we're seeing. Does it run up to a certain level, get smacked, and then come back? Well, yeah, but similar, of the same flavor, but definitely not like a perfect match to what we're seeing right now. The perfect match would have been here on September 1st if it exploded. That would have been the cup, the handle, and then the fall through on the basically the third test. It took us a little bit, it pushed, but then got smacked again, and now we're dancing around in this area. We have more of just some like, we have a slow melt up, grind upward right now on AMC. That's basically what we have. So different, but still bullish. Different, but still apish. I mean, we're green on the day right now. We're up by 17 cents. We're testing that level. We're soaking up the supply in the 48s that we've been battling out. Many cups and handles all across this entire time frame has just been cup and handle galore. Patience. Shiba is a long-term investment. It will have its own blockchain soon. With 700k, Shiba and Doge can coexist like GME and AMC. They could. I just don't know if there's a big enough. There might be a huge Shiba community that I just don't know about. But I don't know. I don't. AMC and GME kind of moved even together. Like GME moved the biggest and it was the most notoriety in January, but AMC was still moving. Shiba, to try to draw that comparison of Doge being like GME and Shiba being AMC or some mixture thereof, I just don't think it's like an apt comparison. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a month from now, we're all going to be Shiba millionaires. I don't know. Maybe it'll run like crazy. I just don't think it's the most likely. So right here, you're using, it's going to have its own blockchain. Do you know how many things have its own blockchain that like are just not legitimate projects? Do I know about Hexcoin? That's actually the one I'm learning about. And I actually just DM'd Richard Hart over break to try to talk to him and see if he'd be willing to have a conversation, maybe an interview or something like that. But yeah, I'm in Hex. I got into this at 8 cents. But I think it'd be a fun talk to like get to interview someone. I mean, he literally made an entire crypto. Like, that's awesome. So it could be a cool tech or a cool conversation, but I don't know if he is willing to do it or not. Do I think SafeMoon is legit and going anywhere? Legit is, I guess, like a weird way to act. Like, is it an actual crypto that people have made money on and have lost money on? Well, yeah, it is. Am I gonna put money in SafeMoon? I am not. Same like Sheep. Like, it might work, but I also think there's better opportunity. I think a lot of these like random little altcoins are very, very similar to penny stocks. Whenever anyone finds a penny stock, I mean, if you're hanging out in the live stream, you've seen it a lot where people are like, oh, this penny stock. Like, everyone thinks that they found that like the golden egg. And in reality, the statistics, most penny stocks fail. Most of these altcoins will fail. Random little altcoins are very, very similar in the world of the stock market to like, and once in a while you have that unicorn that breaks through. Of course, that's obviously possible, but most penny stocks fail. Most altcoins will fail. I say most, not all. And I would say your classic blue chip stocks are more equivalent to the main established crypto that we have now. Like, so Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Amazon, I would say they are the same blue chip stock comparison of like, okay, they're going to be here for the long haul of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, like all of those. Like, look at the top list on crypto, and to me that's more of like a reasonable bet of what's going to still be around in a decade. SafeMoon has a great roadmap. Okay, get it. Like, that's the beauty of the market is if you believe that, we'll invest in it. That's the beautiful thing about the market, folks, is if you think you found an opportunity that is being underrealized, underutilized, or undervalued. That is where you make your money. So just because I'm not going to put money into SafeMoon, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't put money into it. And it also doesn't mean that like I am right. I don't know about it. Like right here, someone just said that they like the roadmap. Sick. Invest in it then. If that's how you do your crypto investing, is by looking at the potential of a roadmap, and this checks off your criteria, have at it. Like, trust me, folks, I am not the end all be all of a stock investment, an option investment, a futures investment, a crypto investment. I share my own thoughts and opinions. That's all it is. I have winning trades. I have losing trades. It's that simple. There was an artificial price which did not reflect other exchanges. Stop spreading FUD. What did Adam say? Sheeb listed on Coinbase today is why it's running a quick day trade is a play. 9.8 Sheeb listed up 700%, then down 700% the next day. Someone's saying that's not a true print. Lazy vegan hippie. What does it mean when they borrow but don't return such as when they go on with SCDC right now? Short interest up 9% on the day, about 48 with 14 to 95. SDC, I'm not quite sure. Let me pull it up. Maybe I could have better commentary after seeing it myself. Why is it not loading? Smile Direct Club. Okay, I'm a little bit confused. What does it mean when they borrow but don't return such as what's going on with the SCDC right now? Short interest up 9% on the day to about 48 with up 14 to 95. What does that mean? Okay, I see we're up 9%. So basically, based on the percentage of short interest yesterday, from that magnitude, we've increased by 9%. Not 9% as in like we go from 100 to 109 based on the percentage gain of a percentage. So for example, if you go from 10% to 11%, that's actually a 10% gain if you're using the original percentage as your basis point. So that's how they got that 9%. We must have, whatever that number was yesterday, I guess we've gone from 43.51 up to 47, which I guess is a gain of 9%. From 9% of 43 is that additional 4%. So now we're at 47.74. But you're asking about 15 and 95. I don't know where you're getting those numbers. Yeah, I don't know where you're even getting those. Short interest is up a 48, up with 14 to 95. With utilization maybe? Or do you mean with utilization 14 to 95? Yeah, that's all possible. Remember, short interest, shares on loan, and utilization, you need all three of them. They all tell you a different part of a story, a key part of the story, and you don't get enough information from one of those individually. So utilization is, remember, it's the amount of shares on loan divided by the total loanable shares. So it's a ratio. Got caught holding the bag on ATR at 1550. Thoughts on bounce, or is it time to take my loss like a grown-up? Thanks to you. Let's look at ATER. ATER. I mean, it's an inside day. I wouldn't make a decision because there's no direction today. It's perfectly inside the previous day's bar. Inherently, you have no direction. Would you rather know the price or the date of the mother of all short squeezes, and why? Love hearing your logic on stock versus options to keep us gamblers in check. I would rather know the date because I feel confident enough in my trading ability related to stock and option that I would make a huge amount of money on it anyway. So I'd rather just play it on the date. And because if you know the date, but even if you're off by like whatever, a huge percentage, let's say 50%, let's say you undershoot the value of the price by 50%, you would still make a killing, like a huge killing. So for me, maybe other people would like the price, but for me, I would like the date. Just give me the date of action, and I would I'd go from there. The price, I think time, and this is actually important, and maybe we're going to get a little bit too deep here, but time is a more valuable asset than money.
Gang, brother.
And I think people's answers to this would actually be based on that. What do you value more in your life, time or money? For me, it's time. I care a lot more about time than I do about money. Time is important. And I think people who are more so options traders would care about the time, and people who are more so stock traders would care about the price, and i.e. the money. But knowing either of them would make you a lot. But for example, like if you know the date, or no, if you know the price, you don't know the opportunity of it, because like you don't know how long it's going to take to play out. So the opportunity cost, like inherently your time has value, and you can value your time at whatever you want. There's a very good chance that you're undervaluing your time. But time, I would argue, is a much more important commodity. Can you look at a couple bags? I'm still holding SWBI TTCF. What are your take on short Nikola position? All right, we could check out one of these SWBI. Ooh, this is a bad stock. It looks like it still is coming down, maybe to 20. Smith and Wesson. I mean, this, whenever it comes to I believe a weapon manufacturer, aerospace and defense, it's in aerospace technically. Smith and Wesson, I believe they make rifles and pistols and stuff. So this is going to be politically driven, definitely going to be politically driven, especially if they make ammo. I don't know if they make, I know they make rifles and pistols. I don't know if they make ammo, but anyway, still going to be politically connected for obvious reasons, especially in the US. From a technical perspective, not looking the best. Maybe it'll base off of between 20 and 21, right where it is, and start to move back up, but I would want to see some momentum in it. TTCF. No, not looking good. If it breaks below 19, man, this might come to 17. It's at support. I hope it bounces soon if you're in it, but watch 19. They make both. People are saying both. Just bought 115 AMC shares because it's my wife's money. Fingers crossed to the moon. Because it's my wife's money. All right. Did we just kick off Power Hour? Yeah, we're about 10 minutes into Power Hour. BBIG catching a bid. The market is pushing, kind of making sense now with the flow that we saw earlier on today. Have you talked about GREE options on TD in the money line and puts is the in the money line for calls and puts is at $5 strike price. Brambles, yeah, that's the impact of the volatility being so juiced. Okay, someone is now saying Smith & Wesson does not make ammo. I don't know. I know they make rifles and pistols and that stuff, but I don't know if they make ammo. All right. Someone said AMC is not green anymore. It's very much green. It's up 7 cents. We need some optimism. We need some optimism. Is there any other news? Hang on, let me see. What kind of news does everyone need to know about? Powell orders ethics review after Fed presidents disclose multi-million-dollar investments. Good. He should be reviewed by ethics. What else do we have? I think that's probably in reference to that like Texas Fed guy or the Southern Fed guy that like way too much. White House press secretary holds briefing with reporters. All right. Do we have any AMC news? Let's see. Altcoins like Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin were thrust into the limelight by AMC today. 3 stocks I'd avoid. No way. What are the 3 stocks people would avoid at all costs? He switched it. He switched it from 3 stocks to 2 stocks. This guy is Jason Hawthorne. 2 stocks I'd avoid at all costs. And guess what those 2 are? GameStop and AMC. I mean, Motley Fool, like what's going on? Who is Motley Fool's daddy? Because whoever it is, they like are obviously just forcing them to like hate on these stocks so much. Ridiculous. Crazy. So not much news there. I don't spread FUD literally said Coinbase went up and down on not all exchanges. She was listed on Coinbase today. All those are just facts. Bros, crazy run. Love the Golden Eagle classic coffee. Lines are always wrapped around the drive-through. # Dallas, Texas. Please check out ENLC. Looks like a possible weekly breakout setting up. ENLC. It is showing quite a bit of momentum. It's sitting at resistance. You have additional resistance at 7. Above 7 sets up maybe a test of the mid 8s, maybe even more, but definitely showing strength. I wouldn't hop on it right now because the RSI is overextended. I would be waiting a little bit. Maybe if it gets knocked at like 7, comes down, bounces off of, I don't know, 650 or something like that. AMC still viable for a MOAS, right? I saw the DD. So MOAS is just like kind of a fun term that people use. Like MOAS actually has like no definition itself. Are you saying AMC still viable for a short squeeze? Yes. Yes, still a viable short squeeze candidate. Can you look at the 5 days on Ford? What is Ford doing? Strength, trying to break out, maybe make a push up to 14, maybe even 1450. Getting out of this wedge, I don't know. Looks like it's bending back around. Maybe this will lead to an eventual test of 1650. Built Ford tough. All right, what do we have? Just went kind of nuts on some KPLT options, 7.5 for October 15th. Can we do a decent dive into it? Yeah, I mean, KPLT, I've actually addressed this one, Jackie. I mean, a lot of these ones of when people are saying that I didn't address it, we did address it. KPLT, like I said, still a viable gap fill play up to 930. I don't know with that one if I would necessarily want to time cap it with options, but I do still think one of these days it's going to fill that gap. Thoughts on any? Yeah, my thoughts on our any is we're waiting for it to here. I mean, the SPY is moving, just so everyone knows. Any, it's all coming down to $7 and then $7.60. Motley Fool used to say sponsored by Citadel in all their articles up until around May. Google it. Miss your tinfoil hat. Hey, I still have it. I remember that though. Like way back when we all started to notice, I don't know, about 3-4 months ago, that all Motley Fool did was talk crap on us. And then we realized that Citadel was like a part equity owner investor in Motley Fool. We're like, okay, this makes sense. What's up with ASK? Any thoughts on what to expect? I have no idea what ASK is. It looks like it's doing absolutely nothing ever since May. Looks super, super boring. Would a silverback or a grizzly bear win in an altercation? I would actually have to like legitimately bet on the silverback. I mean, a grizzly, like, I would assume that a silverback, being of, I guess, a primate origin or whatever it is technically, I would assume that they're just a lot stronger and they're more agile. Like, I really do think that a silverback would win. Cost to borrow max updated in Ortex to 36%. For what stock? I don't know what stock that's in reference to. AMC? Yeah, that's crazy. Someone was pretty desperate to get a short on AMC today. About the ape documentary, are you and Trey getting any kickbacks for supporting prompting the documentary? Thanks. They did not like pay me, like I'm in it. I was not paid to be in it, if that's what you're asking. It wasn't like I got some like fat check for like, hey man, thanks for being in our doc. It's just something I believed in, and like it's not like they, I mean, I can't speak for Trey, but I also know this. It's not like we got paid to like, I guess, be on that stream or something. I mean, it is like they're attempting to make money though. Like, I don't think anyone, if this does well, are there going to be a lot of people, a lot of these investors and percentage equity owners who make money? Well, yeah, but they've also been very upfront about that the entire time. And I honestly, I take no issue with it, because they're attempting to tell the story of what's going wrong in some parts of Wall Street and get it changed. And if the documentary is received well and it wins awards, and if it's, I don't know, on this or that, that's not my, I was just in it, folks. Like, I'm not part of like the business team or anything like that. But I think it's a cool project. I think it's a really, really cool project, and I think it's an important project. But if you don't agree with that, that's okay. Well, keep your money in your pocket then. Like, no one's forcing you. All GREE call options are 0.05. All my SPRT calls just went rock bottom and lost value and moved to GRE. Any thoughts? Well, yeah, because the conversion of roughly SPRT, when it converted over, that would have priced GREE around $90, and GREE is now 42. So it would have been like equivalent to SPRT selling off by like more than 50%. So that's why they're down so low. Rico knows what's good. I miss him. Macros. I miss Rico too. He's a volatile character, and we need him in our life. Grizzly bears have conceal and carry permits. Thoughts on SDC? I think the plays, as of now, I was interested in it with a gap fill play, but it did that on September 14th. Maybe it wants to go again, but when we first started talking about it, like, that was the play, it was the gap fill, and that's exactly what it did. Right now, I don't even, maybe I would just watch it to see if it builds a trend, but the recent nice technical setup has already played out, and it played out on September 14th. Could another play set up? Well, yeah, of course. But the obvious one was the gap fill. What do you think about the quadruple top on the SPY 1 hour? The SPY 1 hour. Could just be a huge cup and handle. Cup, we're looking for the handle and the explosion upward. The buyers have been stepping back into SPY. I very much am looking for this to kind of push back up to the realm of above 450. SPY. Yeah, I do like it. I do like it. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Hey Mark, penny stock question. I can't trade one on my brokerage. It's a pink, no information security. Am I not allowed to trade pink sheets in the US? Yeah, you can. You just need to have a brokerage that has access to it. But I would also recommend not doing it. I mean, trading penny stocks like that, it's just a freaking wild west. A high percentage of penny stock traders end up losing money. It's like a net loss proposition for them. I milk bears for a living. Let me tell you, the silverback wins pro bear milker. Oh, geez. Oh man, I still, who is this? Who's the latest? Kevin, very angry that there's other stocks out there. Like, I just kind of wonder, like, what's the look on people's face? Like these people who like they consider themselves to be like Moas purists and only talk about AMC and Jimmy. And inherently that is funny because AMC, like as they would say, and I don't believe that there's any distractions, but AMC by their definition is the first distraction. But anyway, it's like, it's kind of like this moment where they start to realize these other very legitimate plays that they're not like AMC and Jimmy, but it's still a legitimate play nonetheless. BBIG, ANY, ATER, SPRT, GRE, IRNT. There's these other plays that are moving and people are making money. Like, and like you can almost see them get disgruntled. They're like, wait, there's like, I would pay to see the reaction when they figure out there's like 6,000 other stocks outside of the world of AMC and Jimmy. Like, I think their mind would explode. Cup and handle forming have roughly 65% follow through. It drops to almost zero if handle hits lower 1/3 of cup. Okay, so if you have a very deep handle, so almost more of like a George W setup, I see what you're saying, hits lower 1/3 of cup. Okay, so the handle coming down very deep. There's other stocks. Yeah, it's just people who are mad. I mean, and maybe that's just a human thing to do, but everyone's always going to argue that the thing that they're in is the best thing. Like, well, of course I'm in it. It has to be the best thing. Folks, that's not the world. Like, that is not the world. Oh, man. Sheeb. Yeah, I'm not really that into it. Lottery stocks. I guess it's running quite a bit today on the news that it's being put into Coinbase or something, or Robinhood or something like that. There's some sort of fundamental driver that people are getting a nice percentage gain on Sheeb. I'm new to Ortex and looking at IRNT. Can you help me figure out days to cover, shorting, and the volume stuff? I'm in it at 14. Yeah, Kenny. So what you're going to want to do after putting in a stock is you typed in IRNT. Let me just double check this. Okay, yeah. Here, I'll just use it with AMC as an example. Or so you come in here, you type in your stock, and it brings this up. To get all the information, you come to this lower right-hand corner, short interest. And then you can see the short interest, the shares on loan, the days to cover, and the utilization across the top. So once again, you're just clicking on the rectangle in the bottom right, short interest for whatever the stock is. Just so you know. All right, what else do we have? Am I missing some questions here? It just told me it was lunch hour. Oh, we got some Great Danes going in chat. Oh, someone is saying that AMD pushed. AMD. I would love to see AMD get out of this wedge. I'm bullish on AMD. I'm very bullish on it. I'm more bullish on NVIDIA, but I'm bullish on the semiconductor industry in general. Man, AMC getting smoked from 150 until now. Someone turned off the buying faucet and turned on this, like, the selling faucet, obviously. Man, oh man, what a weird day. What a weird day. After the Moass, I'm gonna get Moass. You know, always an interesting comment from Testicles. Oh, speaking of testicles, this stream is once again brought to you by the OG sponsor of the Matt Kohrs channel, Manscaped. It is pinned to the top of chat. You'll get 20% off worldwide shipping. Pinned to the top of chat, manscaped.com/moongang. 20% off worldwide shipping. Shout out to Manscaped. We do appreciate, as a community, your sponsorship. Autumn is in the air. The pumpkins are in the patch, and our friends at Manscaped are here to make sure you don't carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming. Why can't I say that without smiling? Carve your pants pumpkins when you're grooming. If you know what I'm saying, right? Make sure you're keeping things fresh this fall with the leaders in male grooming and their brand new 4th generation performance package. Boys, get ready for cuffing season like no other. Ready to take the leap into the fall with Manscaped. Join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com/moongang for 20% off and free shipping. That's right, 20% off and free shipping. moongang.com/moongang. moongang.com/moongang. manscaped.com/moongang. It is pinned to the top of chat. Make your balls a priority this fall. Choose Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. And I feel like whoever this account is, Testicles, I hope if you don't have Manscaped and if you refuse to buy it, I'll just send you Manscaped. I need, with a name like that, with like such a commitment to such a humorous name, if you're not going to buy it, I'm going to buy it for you and just ship it to you. If anyone needs any of the breakdowns on Manscaped and their product and a live product review, find the link to my OnlyFans. It's in the description of the video. My OnlyFans membership, it is $69 a day. So I'm kind of a pricey content creator in that social media forum, but I would say it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. CEI stock check real quick. CEI, I'm gonna just tell you to not chase it, but let's see if anything has changed. Nope, same thing. Still don't chase it. You're late to this party. Late to the party. It's at $1.80. It was trading at 40 cents. What did they give Elmo before they shipped him to stores? To testicles? Oh, why am I this immature? You know, now that we're running through all of it, let's do the word of the day. Merriam Webster. Exonerate.
Exonerate.
To clear from a charge of wrongdoing or from blame. So, quick example to use that in a sentence. Unsurprisingly to the ape community, Ken Griffin's lawyer was unable to exonerate him from charges for market manipulation. Once again, Unsurprising to the ape community, Ken Griffin's lawyer was unable to exonerate him from market manipulation charges and allegations. So that's the Merriam-Webster word of the day. The more you know. That one was an easy one. Urban Dictionary word of the day. Lick.
Word of the day.
All right. I clicked on the microphone and it just said word of the day instead of lick, L-I-C-K. A successful type of theft which results in an acceptable, impressive, and rewarding payday for the protagonist. A lick. So it's a theft? I've never heard of that before. A successful type of theft. Hit a good lick. Has anyone heard of that? I've never. I also don't know why it just didn't say the word lick. It said word of the day. Lick. Hey, look at that. Unfortunately, the lawyer was unable to exonerate his client for the series of licking. A lick. So, lick. Hitting a lick. Manscaped is great for male genitals, but wait, great for women as well, and no worries, it won't bite you. Please check it out. That's from Short Crusher 69. What are these names? I think there are many, many positives to my job in life right now, but one of my favorite things is all of these names. All of the names are so freaking funny. We have, I don't think Kinky Kong has been here today, but that name took me by surprise. The first time I read it, Kinky Kong. We have Testicle. Like, there's so many great names. FCA merged with a French car manufacturer and made Stellantis. I very much like everything FCA has done and was curious on STLA. Is it good stock or not? STLA. This will be my first time looking at it. I could look at it on the New York Stock Exchange. It's not really traded. It's a $20 stock that doesn't trade 2 mil. But I mean, it's a beautiful upward trend. I mean, a very nice upward trend. So great trend, I think. I mean, obviously it's a foreign company, but ever since March, this thing's been ripping. So if you like, it seems like you might know more about like the fundamentals and how the company is thought of and respected. But I mean, the chart looks solid. What do you think about BNED? BNED. Barnes and Noble. What? Barnes and Noble is worth $500 million? Don't they just like price gouge people on books? It's at resistance right now. If I had to guess, it's probably going to get smacked somewhere between here and 13, and then you'll get a dip opportunity maybe around 7 or 8 if you really do like it. But just so you know, like, it's super overextended right now. I wouldn't be buying it at this moment in time. But I'd also want to look into their fundamentals. People don't like paying like 5x the cost for a book. So I would want to know their sales and the trend of their sales and all that. Kinky Kong. Lick. It's a whole thing on TikTok. Guess they're typing everything down at high school, including toilets. I was here earlier. You missed my... Oh, I'm sorry, Kinky Kong. Still one of my favorite names. Still one of my favorite YouTube names ever. So this whole lick thing, fascinating. I don't really get it. So could you say, like, would it be viable as a sentence to say, to look at like a bank or Wall Street or Fort Knox or an art museum, and like if you're just talking with a buddy and be like, oh, this store deserves a good licking, like, would that? If not, that's how I'm gonna start using it. Be like, oh, like it's good for licking. STLA owns Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Chrysler and are pushing all manufacturers to make electric cars. Bullish. Are longer options on AMC even worth chasing? Like in October 15, even worth it? Where's the volume? How long till volume comes? Don't want to miss a chance. In fact, I wouldn't play anything before October 15th, but right now on AMC, I wouldn't play any options just because there's no volatility or volume. You can only hit, it's not licking. It's the present progressive. Come on, folks. I didn't miss that all these days of grammar school. Matt is so sheltered. This store deserves a good licking. Oh, it's the present progressive. I hope there's an English teacher listening right now that can just tune in and tell me that I'm right. Be like, I guess it is a present progressive. He's not wrong there. Because, oh, wait. No, you guys are totally right. Because I remember when I looked at it, it's a noun, not a verb. So how can it be present progressive? Who makes up all these rules as we're debating Urban Dictionary? Hit a good lick last night. Hit a good lick. I brought home 3 figures easy, about 2 hours worth of my time. Not bad, I don't think. Hit a good, like you hit a lick? Oh, that was a good lick. That was a good licking. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it. We'll have to think about it. Ignorant? How am I ignorant? What? Love listening to while I'm walking around Disney. Nothing like LOing at my pants pumpkins while a crowd of people. Can you do the female read? They didn't send it for me this time around. I'll ask for the female. Where is the female read? I could find. They should have sent it to me. Let me see if I could track this down. Is this my email? Where are we? Yeah, I don't think I have the female one. Oh, wait, is this it? Yeah, I can't find it. Basically, it is all the same thing, except make sure his balls are fresh this fall with Manscaped. So unfortunately, not much of a comedic switch up there. Back to this lick thing. Testicles, where I come from, lick means something different. Oh, man. Motley used when talking about robbing people, really only heard it in the good. Mostly used when talking about robbing people. Lick, it's mostly used like, let's hit a lick. He hit a lick. Or something close to that phrase. He hit a lick. That was a good lick. Oh man, last night I had a good licking. Something like that. Last night when the bank was closed, I had a real good licking. I think it could work. I don't know. I'll reach out to Urban Dictionary and we'll get to the bottom of this. Man, I almost crashed. Licking is robbing a store person. Like when you're poor and an easy lick is going to the store and grabbing candy. That's one way. A lick is an easy robbery. Or so it's an easy one. I mean, there's a lot of easy lickings in this world. Everyone's getting mad at me. They're like, it's not an ing. Folks, this is how words are made. We could put this on Urban Dictionary. For all you know, I might be wrong today, but I might be right tomorrow. This is how words are made. I hit a lick on CEI. Shout out, Joe. I'm proud of you. I hit the liquor store robbery. One unbox, I'm afraid, will lick your very good goods. Oh, the artsy card, the packages are here. I'm just figuring out of when to do it because my schedule has been tough at nights with this kind of stuff. But the Arctic Card, just so you know, all the packages, like they're actually in my place right now. Like they're not going to get licked. No licking of these packages. Matt, GRE really knows how to hit a lick. The things we're learning. Do I think that all of these streams should be bottled up and maybe presented as the entire year of education to freshmen in high school? Yeah, I do. I do think there's quite a bit of wealth of information. You mentioned a crypto run-up yesterday. What do you have your eyes on? Mainly Cardano and Ethereum were the ones that were looking pretty promising, especially Ethereum. But honestly, Hex looks pretty good. I can't think about you getting licked. I think if you like, oh brother. Anyways, I'm about to tag you with a lick link. What is this evolving into? Matt, meet me at the store. Make sure you have 2K cash in your wallet. I'll explain a lick when we meet. Oh brother. Imagine YouTube's like natural language processing and their moderators are like, what is that kid saying today? Like this entire last 20 minutes has to be sending YouTube and Twitch and Rumble's moderation teams are like, what? We thought this was a stock show. It happens. It happens. Not every day we're going to stay on the train. I thought we were homeboys, but my so-called friend got his buddies over and they licked me. Trust no one. This is why we do the word of the day, because we're all learning something. Like knowledge is power, and think about how much more we have learned. B Rabbit defeated Lickety Split in 8 Mile. Man, oh man. This is so... All this is about licking now, these messages. All right. Let's try to get some stock stuff involved. The lick verb came from TikTok for people stealing it from their schools. A lick and a promise worth a lick, but don't have a lick in common. You can use lick a lot. Lick is just apparently like a catch-all term. Cootery looking like a gravestone doji on the daily for any bearish MACD crossing over the 2 hour. I'm still bullish long term, but may have seen some dom-dom-doms before boom-booms. Doom-dooms before boom-booms. You know, the one day, and I guess this just like, I mean, as you guys are pointing out that I don't know what lick was. I guess I was unaware. Oh, and this is kind of like the whole, what word did I say before? Marijuana. And people were like, yeah, you probably shouldn't say that, which I didn't know. My apologies. The one that I previously got in trouble for was when we urban dictionaried, or like those 10, like the 20 Gen Z terms you didn't know. The one was finna. And I was like, oh, that's fun. And I was like, oh, like all the other terms, like Gen Z terms are so much fun. Like finna take a hot seat or take a couple seats. Like all those are great terms. But then someone sent me this whole message and all these links that all these TikTok Gen Z kids are like basically stealing all these like more of like old school minority terms. Like I thought these Gen Z kids were coming up with it themselves, but they're all just like word stealing. Apparently that's what someone sent me. That was like the hot take I got right after. Finna is not Gen. That's what I'm saying. Is finna? It was on this list of Gen Z words, but apparently it's not Gen Z whatsoever. And all these TikToker Gen Zs are just, they're not even creative enough to come up with their own words. They're just like taking it from other people. I got a Tootsie Pop and took me a couple good licks. Fun fact, I just have some, if not painful, maybe not so fun. What, Sean? So I feel like we're just all getting a wealth of knowledge from the word section of the day. Yeet, I don't know. Because like it was this whole thing about bussin' and like no cap, like all of these. I was like, oh, it's like just these Gen Z kids like speaking in their own way, but they're not speaking in their own way. They're completely like hijacking more of like other forms of speaking, and then they're just like saying, yeah, like we came up with it. Like you didn't come up with squat, kid. Finna take. They probably said take an extra seat. That sounds like a Gen Z thing to say. I'm finna to hit a lick. Oh, man. Matt Kohrs, the unassuming boomer. I'm like in that awkward age group. I was born in 94. So I'm in that awkward age group where I'm like technically a millennial, but you're like not really accepted by millennials, but I'm also not accepted by Gen Z. So I'm like, millennials think I'm too young and Gen Z think I'm too old. But like, I feel like I'm close enough to both of them that it works. Like, listen, I'm old enough to have watched that orange VHS Rugrats movie many times in my VHS player. I watched Goonies on VHS way too many times, and I even watched like that Power Rangers movie where they ran like kind of like just this crazy, like they would put their arm up and just like run straight forward like that without ever swinging this arm. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm closer to millennial. If you've seen Goonies on VHS tape, that's the rule for millennial. Like that, I feel like that should be the rule. Lick Kenny G and eat him too. What you're saying is true and it's just been happening for centuries. Literally, the internet has just sped it up. Oh. The orange VHS tapes hit different. That's very true. There's something special about those orange VHS tapes. Mr. Jaquan, thank you for that super emote. It was a hit a lick and take a grip meaning money, of course. Hit a lick and take a grip. Fascinating. Hit a lick has been around in the black community forever. Time to lick shots, take shots. Finna hit a lick, go rob a liquor store. Oh, finna hit a lick. It's specifically robbing a liquor store. Wealth of information. This just shows you when a community comes together, how much you can learn. This has gone more into the development of language. I feel like we could have like a PhD level linguistics class here. This is pivoted from a stock show. I'm a 2000 baby and watch VHS all the time. I mean, VHS is where it's at. I mean, if you haven't tried to do a truffle shuffle at least once in your life, have you really lived? What else do we have? I feel like I'm missing good lick jokes. This is why you don't buy options on AMC. Options, I mean, I've been now saying that for kind of this entire week. The volatility and volume has dried up. That is not the environment to get into options, especially when the IV is still kind of high. It's going to get crushed. Do the truffle shuffle or give me my $5 back. Kind of feel like you should introduce me and Tess. Kinky Kong wants to meet up. 2 power users. Power user 1, Kinky Kong. Power user 2, Tess Tickles. Man. Oh, I forgot about this. That you could like tape your TV on a VHS. Like you guys are giving me some like nostalgic moments where like some movie would be coming out Or maybe like, I don't know, this is just an example, but like, let's say you had like a 4th birthday party and you wanted to rewatch it. And then like 5 minutes into it, someone overtaped that new not the Lizzie McGuire. Was it a Lizzie McGuire movie? It might've been. Yeah, but I feel like that happens to all of us. Like sometimes like you're there and it's your birthday and your family records it. And then like maybe a couple of years later, you're like, maybe you have an older sister that would rather have Lizzie McGuire remembered forever instead of your like birthday. And now that's lost to time and it's overwritten on a VHS tape. We've all been there. We all have a story like that. That's obviously like, that definitely didn't happen to me for sure. Obviously, all of my birthdays were remembered and taped and never overwritten, but I've heard it happen to other people. And hey, I'm not going to lie. Even when you're looking for it, even if you're in the mindset of watching Matt Kohrs' 4th birthday party and you put that sucker in, something about Lizzie McGuire, it is capturing. It is capturing. I grew up in LA, kind of the hood, and yeah, all the homies from the hood were using words like lick, finna back in the 90s, way before TikTok. TikTok, bunch of stealers. Right now, lick is good. Give them wedgies, just like you should. Hedge funds are whack. Lick the stream and buy AMC's crack. What's your take on TMC? It's bound for a short squeeze based off the shares lockup and a low flow. I don't know about that. Bound for something, that's a bold statement to say. What is going on is that ever since about 145-ish, 150-ish, AMC has been systematically sold off. Selling, very regimented selling. Same thing with GME. Both of them, perfect. Same time. Not necessarily the same velocity, but like it's too perfect. I mean, both of them are just like purely being sold, and the bars differ a little bit here and there because there's like stop losses and day traders and stuff. But man, someone is selling, whether they're creating a position to short or if someone's unloading a long position, but someone's selling here. This is not a ladder attack. People love to say ladder attack. They're like, oh, ladder attack. No, if the utilization is not 100%, if you're not on SSR, one of those things, you're not going to see a ladder attack. Did you have the VHS that did nothing but rewind the tapes super fast? Oh yeah, that sound. Matt, if I can get within 0.05 of close, can I get some merch? I'm on to something. Let's do predictions. 46.25. Usually when we do that, there's so many people that end up guessing that you actually have to be like spot on. There's just so many people guessing and guessing pretty accurately. We could do that, Rachel, tomorrow. When the market opens tomorrow or a little bit into the market going, let me know your guess on the day. And everyone can guess on the day. And whoever's the closest, and if we have multiple people who are spot on, it'll be the first person who guesses it, like the first person who puts it in. But yeah, everyone can do that. So at market open tomorrow, feel free to put out your AMC GME guess. Closest person or the person who's spot on first, of course, could have some free merch. That's always a fun game. Dumb question. Are the hedge funds looking to have the day close sub 45, so out of the money? Nothing would expire out of the money today because the options expire tomorrow. Are you deliberately skipping donation messages too now? Come on, bro. I asked you so many times about DRS and computer share for GME. I didn't say anything about DRS. No, I don't intentionally skip anyone's super chat. It's just, folks, you realize that, like, I guess on my end, they end up disappearing. Like, they're only here for so long. So if like I'm doing something and they come in, they disappear after a certain amount of time. The computer share thing, we've already talked about that. I don't think it's all that it's cracked up to be, but I say that hesitantly because I need to look more into it. I need to do my own DD on this computer share thing. And as for DRS. This is a commodity. What is DRS? About DRS, I don't think is a thing. Unless you're looking at, what are we looking at? On the futures market? Bloomberg rolls select commodity. I don't think this is most likely what I don't think you'll be asking about that. AMC looks like it's trying to bounce off the 46 after this very systematic robotic sell-off. What does a hammer candle followed by a shooting star mean? Yesterday's hammer, today is a shooting star. Nines? This significant in any way? Do you mean is this significant in any way? Generally, it's best to use the most recent technical structure. So you would be basing it more off the shooting star than the hammer. But AMC, this is crazy. This is just selling. And it's in a very, very methodical, robotic manner. They turned on the selling at 150 and it's been going for the past 2 hours straight. All right, AMC 46, GME 206, S&P 500 447. Actually had a nice pop over 448. What a move. BBIG 834. The market now, the S&P 500 ever since 315 has been trending to the downside. And it seems like everything actually started, these individual stocks that we're paying attention to all started selling before that. New all-time high tomorrow, calling it based on nothing. I like the enthusiasm, not a hedge fund. Can a company like Vanguard, who owns millions of shares, sell parts of their shares on black markets to hedgies for very cheap rates? A black market? Why would they do that? I've never heard of a black market for stocks. But Vanguard is in the business of making money. Why would they want to sell it for cheap if they could sell it for a higher price on a normal market? Like they're in this to make money. So I there's no such thing as a black market for companies to sell stock to other companies. I've never heard of that, a black market. But even if there were, why would they want to hedgies for very cheap rates? Like Vanguard's attempting to make the most money possible. All right. Some people are asking for the check on Ortex. All right. Estimated short interest, 18.76%. Net neutral. The return shares and the borrowed shares are going up perfectly together. That is very, very abnormal. The perfect recycling of shares. Something is funky in here. This is very, very odd to see the exact same. Like we're talking about 4 million shares and the net difference is 3,000, almost zero. That's something funky's going on here. It's very weird to see the exact same amount of borrowed shares being the exact same amount of return shares. Seems like some sort of cycling through. Very, very odd. Dutch Bros, let's go, bros. Why you should invest. They hire hot chicks and lines are always full, but mainly invest because there are hot chicks. Oh yeah, and coffee is pretty good. Not financial advice. That's from Dark Lucky 91. Sorry, dark pools, not black markets, and sell them since they are basically partners. They're not partners in any way. Vanguard cares about Vanguard's bottom line. Hedge funds care about the hedge fund's bottom line. You don't make dark pools trade at the exact same price as a lit exchange, as a retail wholesaler. Everything that happens between 9:30 and 4 happens in between the NBBO, the National Best Bid and Offer. Anyone who tells you that a dark pool is trading at a different price than what we're seeing right now, like on TradingView, on whatever, they literally have no clue what they're talking about. No clue what they're talking about. No one who has any knowledge of stock market plumbing would ever say that dark pools are trading at a different price than, like I said, retail wholesalers and lit exchanges. The sell-off is going to make 500K taste so much sweeter when it squeezes. I remember Goonies when it came out. Hey, you guys. Matt, can hedgies hide illegal shares in diapers to fly them to Citadel? This might be 200x the value because of higher altitude during flight. What's going on, Jason? If someone created a hodl coin, you'd buy it. All right. We have 5 seconds left on this Thursday, September 16th. Ding, ding, ding. The casino is closed. Ding, ding, ding. All right, folks. AMC, weird day. AMC and Jamie both had a great day up until about 1:45-ish. And then they sold. In a very, very systematic, methodical nature. I don't know where the selling came from. It could have been shorts. It could have been people getting out of a position. I mean, selling is selling. It doesn't look different. The difference is, are you selling to create a position or are you selling to close a position? But selling is selling. It doesn't look or appear any different on the market. I find it extremely weird that AMC, their net change was about 0, but the borrowed shares and the return shares were both of a huge magnitude. I find that to be very, very, very strange. Interesting. Here's the dealio. I will definitely be doing... Well, I'm going to stream tomorrow. Today's Thursday. So at the latest, I'll be streaming at 9 a.m. I'm planning on making an update video tonight. And if I can get enough things together, maybe I'll be on Twitch, like playing some zombies or an unboxing. But like, I just need to get some work done, some extra work done before the weekend. But at the absolute latest, I will be streaming 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, like we normally do on Fridays. And I'll attempt to get some sort of update video out, like my normal update video on this channel, just so everyone knows. Overall, though, hey, I know it was a really, really weird day. I'm going to try to dive into it and explain it better in the update video to like kind of wrap up what did and what didn't happen and like kind of the oddities of the day. But overall, seriously, thank you for the support. You watching right now are the exact reason why I can do this day in and day out. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for the support. You guys, as always, are absolutely phenomenal. I'll be catching you later. And remember, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets.